Hey there, Janae with Palin Projects here, and in this video I'm going to be making up my own potting soil. I do have a bag of store-bought potting soil that I'll be using as kind of like a control group. I want to do a comparison between what I make up, what I mix up, and the store-bought stuff, and see what the plants like better. I'm going to do the same exact plants, the same exact setup, same light situations, same everything. And if this works out, then I'm going to be making my own potting soil because potting soil is expensive. So I really wanted to go all out this year and fill all of my pots, and I bought a couple extras, and so I have a lot of pots to fill and I have a lot of plants to plant. I have been holding off on my annuals because it has been just, you can even see today, it's super cloudy today. I think the temperature is about like 50s, mid 50s, high 50s, and so it's pretty cool for this time of year for us. I think last year at this time we were hitting like 80s, 90s by this week. So this is a crazy spring, and I think it is for most of us, but just a crazy spring. The mountains have held on to a lot of snowpack as well. If you have noticed anything about Montana, or I guess the upper northwest, mid-northwest, weather, Yellowstone National Park actually flooded out like a week ago. And that, devastation, because we had a couple high temperature days and that snowpack and then rain, and everything started to come down, and it just absolutely flooded Yellowstone. That is thankfully not close to us per se. It's about 3 hours, a couple hundred miles away from us. But our local river down here in the Bitterroot, it's flooding as well. So it's flooding out all of the fishing accesses. You can't get in to those to launch a boat and whatnot. It's pretty high. So it's just been an interesting spring this year. But I digress. This video is about me making up my own potting soil. So let me turn around the camera and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna be doing. Step 1, get compost. So this is 10 yards, or it was 10 yards at one point in time. I top my beds off every year with straight compost. This isn't 50-50, this is pure compost from a local dirt place. I just have them drop off 10 yards every year, and I top dress everything over there. And I'll be topping off my garden beds and stuff like that in years to come with compost as well. But I did get 10 yards, and that was due to me wanting to make my own potting soil. So, step 1, compost. Second part, vermiculite. Third part, perlite. So the reason for these two is to, either trap and retain moisture, or to provide light fluffy soil so it doesn't compact. That's one thing about pots. You don't want your ooh, that feels cool, but ooh, it makes a little bit of dust. You don't want your soil to compact, and so that's why I'll be using both of these products. One, again, is to retain moisture, the vermiculite. The other is perlite, to make it so that the moisture isn't overbearing and doesn't make the soil just compact in the pots. So 2, 3. My formula, I'm going to follow Luke from Gardner, his formula. I am going to do 1 part compost, 1 part vermiculite, 1 part perlite. So that's kind of an easy method, and I think that I'm gonna go with it. I did not make the compost myself. Again, I bought it, but I think I can apply the same principle from his video. I'll link that below as well, but I'll apply the same principle and hopefully have great results. The potting mix that I am going to be using that is store-bought is from a national brand. It's nothing I wouldn't say it's nothing special. I got just the basic version, just regular potting mix, nothing added to it, no fertilizers or anything like that, which brings me to my next point. With all of my annuals, I put in a slow release fertilizer. Therefore, I got an all-purpose fertilizer to put in even my potting soil, my store-bought potting soil, even those containers, I'm going to sprinkle some slow-release fertilizer in, just to make sure that, you know, we're the same across the board and not skewing our results, if you will, for one plant versus the other. The other thing that I'll be doing is I will be trying to fertilize on a weekly basis with just a solvent fertilizer. We are pretty late. It's end of June and I'm just now potting up my annuals, which is absolutely insane. But we're having a party this weekend and no better time than the present to get your plants into some pots. So I will set you guys up. We'll do, I got a hair. Yeah, cat hair. We'll do a time lapse of it, and again, 1 part compost, 1 part vermiculite, 1 part perlite, and then I'll do my test in another video. We'll plant up the annuals, and so come back for some more. If you have any questions about this, again, this is the first time that I'm trying it. Once I, get a little bit farther into the season and see how the plants are doing, I can answer those questions if you have any. But if you have any tips, put them in the comments below, because I would like to learn more as well. So, like I said, this is my first time, and I'm interested, and I'm very excited with doing this, because if I can make a large amount of potting soil rather than buying it and in bags and having that waste in our landfills, or just a plethora of different potting mixes, I would much rather make my own. So there's the compost, the vermiculite, and the perlite. I did my best guess to get them into thirds, and so that's why it's kind of mixed this way. I hope I can mix it. We'll see. So the compost looks kind of short there. It's because I did kind of put it on the bottom too. And then I put the vermiculite and the perlite over the top so that I can just reach down and like mix it that way. So we'll see how well this goes. here it is. I think it's actually looking pretty good. It's nice, crumbly, light. I definitely could tell the difference when, you know, I started to get it more and more mixed. It was starting to get a lot lighter instead of just like chunks of compost, which was interesting. I'm telling you guys, if this works, I am going to do this from here on out. I might make one little tweak. We've been looking at like cement mixers, not because of this, but Justin was going to get into some cement work. We were going to do some forms for our back row and build it up, and we've since changed our direction. But I think I can get a cement mixer fairly cheap, under $100 right now. If we start looking, I'll put Justin on it and see if he can find a deal. That guy can always find the best deals, I swear. And so if I put him on it, I think we'll be good. It was a little difficult mixing it by hand. Not undoable, but like I said, that compost was pretty heavy in the beginning, and my hands are like I can kind of feel it in my wrists. And I mean, I didn't even do that much. You guys are gonna be like, you didn't do that much. I didn't, and that's what kind of worries me, is I can feel it kind of. And I did one Gorilla cart that might get me, like my two big like planters that I put on our driveway. It might fill that, which this Gorilla cart can hold a cubic yard of dirt, I think. And the potting mixes are 2 cubic feet. I think it's 2 cubic feet. Right? I think so. It says 2 CF, so that would be 2 cubic feet. The Gorilla cart can hold a cubic yard, I think, was the specifications that we bought it with. So, you know, 3 feet to a yard. I get an extra yard out of mixing it myself, versus buying the big bags of potting mix from the store. So, and I think I want to say it took at least a bag to fill each of my estate planters. So I probably will have to do 2 or 3 Gorilla carts to fill all of my pots, which that would have been at least, so what, 3, 6, 9, maybe 12. Let's go 12 for easy math. So that would have been 6 bags of potting mix at, I think I saw them at, this one was in our garage since last fall, so I think I got this one on sale. But I think I saw them at the box stores for $15 a bag for, you know, the decent stuff, not like top quality, but not bottom of the barrel, but just a regular potting mix. What I'm noticing is I just opened up the potting mix real fast to kind of gauge a difference, and I'll show you a difference. I'll fill up 2 pots and show you the difference. But the potting mix that I bought is a lot darker. It doesn't have the perlite in it, which I remember, might be kind of funny, but I remember as a kid, my dog literally just pulled a sled, like a snow sled, out and was playing with it. Weird. Sorry, I digress again. I remember sitting on our patio as a child and like popping the perlite, which it's just rock. I mean, it's nothing like that I could have gotten sick from, but I remember grabbing it and just like crushing it in my hands because I didn't know what it was. And it feels kind of cool and it's kind of chalky. But I just remember like picking out the perlite and like crunching it in my hands. It was just, it was fun. It was interesting. Don't ask me why I did it. I don't know. But when I saw it today, it just like that memory like rushed back. But this that I mixed up today seems to be a lot lighter, a lot fluffier. we'll see how it works out. I'm curious to see if it retains water better, if it allows the plants to grow better. And like I said, I want to do a side-by-side comparison in 2 pots, set them up on drip, set them in the same location, and see if one does better than the other. If they don't, I'll still probably mix my own, get a cement mixer, because that would be a lot easier just to turn a handle and it all mixes together. But I think in supplies, technically the vermiculite was free. It was given to me, but I think a typical bag is about $10. The perlite was, I believe, $10 and 10 or 15, and the compost was $25 or $30 a yard. Like a scoopable yard, not like a cubic yard, like a big yard, front loader yard. So that was pretty big. I think just by judging how much of the perlite that I've used, I probably can get quite a few. I don't even know. I mean, for $15, yeah, I definitely think I'm going to come out ahead in the money department. Even with, so purchasing the perlite, I think it was 15. Purchasing the compost was, so that makes it 45, and then the vermiculite would make it 55. So this year I probably came out even, because I would have, well, no, I wouldn't have. 5 times 15. Was that $75? So I saved $20 basically, and then in years to come I'll use the vermiculite and the perlite over and over again. I'll have to buy more compost. I can't reuse the vermiculite and the perlite, but there's enough there that I can use it for years to come. It's not going to be a one season use, so that'll drive my cost down even farther. But yeah, I do think getting the cement mixer and then mixing it that way will be easier. But I mean, again, if this works, golden. I'm not going to have to buy basically a pallet worth of bagged potting mix, which is awesome. So let's fill the 2 pots and I'll show you the difference. Staff, come here. Thank you. This is the mix that I did. This is the store-bought potty mix. I think the main difference here obviously is in color, so I have a lot more perlite in mine, which I think is fine. I could make it darker and put less perlite in if I wanted to. There is some perlite in here. There's a couple pieces of like slow release fertilizer that I just popped, and then there's a couple pieces of perlite as well. Just not as much. And then I think there's some compost, it looks like, or some dirt, and then some peat moss maybe, I would assume is in here. So it just, like, this is soft, but it feels woody. You can see there's a couple wood chips in here. And it kind of gives me a little bit of slivers, where this is soft, and like I could play in this all day and not get a sliver. Like, yeah, I have that. But like, it's night and day difference. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting stabbed or cut with mine. It's just a lot softer, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'm gonna do my actual potting up of my experiment in a different video. I'll plant up maybe not all of my annuals, but some of my annuals in another video. So stay tuned for that, and check back in throughout the year, and I'll keep giving you guys an update on which pot that I think is doing best, or if they're doing the same, or if I'll do this again. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next project. Thanks, guys. Bye.